Good morning! Hello, and welcome to the second Sunday morning book chat. I completely forgot to say my name and what blog I'm with last week. So, if you don't know, my name is Megan, and I blog at Reading Books Like a Boss. So if you've never heard of my blog, the link will be in the description box. And just by the way, if I talk about any books or any posts or anything like that, I will have a coordinating blog post that goes with this video. So anything that I mention will be in that post, which I will link in the description box below or wherever this is publicized. I will try to put that link in there so that you have it. Thank you to everybody who watched the video last week. It seemed like most people enjoyed it, and so I will keep making them as long as you keep watching them. And yes, I am wearing my Taryn Fisher Passionate Little Nutcases hoodie, and my shirt, just so full disclosure, it's a musician jokes t-shirt. I can't help my nerdiness. It just is. So I didn't know what I was going to talk about this morning until I sat down at my computer when I first got up and started kind of writing down a loose script. Because I don't want these videos to be like scripted. I just want to have like an idea of what I was going to talk about. And I thought I would talk about a few things that seem to be kind of prevalent, at least in the indie book world. And I just kind of want to know what your take is on some of these things. And the first couple of things I want to talk about are happily ever afters and cliffhangers. I've noticed, especially in the past 6 months to a year, that those things seem to be prevalent in any book description, whether it be by an author or by a blogger. And if you follow my blog, I think I've made it pretty clear. I don't want to know whether a book has a happily ever after or a cliffhanger. I think especially the happily ever after thing is really spoilery to me. And I've noticed that some of my friends and even people that I'm not acquainted with require these happily ever afters, but they'll read these books that have these winding plot twists or these moments where your heart is like pounding out of your chest with anxiety and you're just feeling all these feelings and you don't know if you're going to survive the book, but yet they have to know in the end, is there a happily ever after? But I guess if you're wanting the experience, to be fulfilling positively, then you must know the happily ever after. But I just want to know, what do you think? Do you need to know if a book has a happily ever after in the end? For example, if someone who had read Thief last year before me had given the ending away, like whether there was a happily ever after, because that was the big question, was Caleb and Olivia going to get their happily ever after? If someone had told me what happens at the end, I would have been so angry. I would have been so upset. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know anything. So yeah, that would have ruined it for me. So yeah, why? I want to know, why do you require a happily ever after? Yes or no, and why? Like, why, yes, I require one, or why, no, I do not. I just want to know. And the same goes with the cliffhanger. I don't want to know that either. I just want to experience the book blindly, as blindly as, you can if you read a blurb. Like, I'll read the blurb, but even then I'll sometimes forget what the blurb says. I have a great memory. So yeah, I just want to know, like, do you require happily ever after? Do you need to know ahead of time if there is a cliffhanger? Tell me yes or no. The other thing is, I am in the huge minority when it comes to this subject, but alpha males. I did a whole post on, like, I guess the opposite of the alpha male, the beta male, because those are the people that I tend to, or those are the guys that I tend to flock towards. I want to know why you love alpha. Like, what is it about an alpha male that you love? I'm not discrediting your love. I don't hate all alpha males. I just have a very specific criteria that I require. I have some that I really love, but some I just can't jump on the bandwagon. So I want to know um, who you love. I don't like the caveman alpha, and I have friends who I've talked to this extensively about, and they know about my weird particularities. But the caveman alpha is someone who can't speak a clear sentence. They often drop off the pronouns and they just go straight for the verb. I don't need them to be like, my dear darling, I require you to get naked under me. Like, I don't need that. Like, I'm just saying they need to just, like, use a pronoun. Like, you're very attractive or something. I don't know. Yeah. I just can't do it. It's like some of my favorite alpha males. Okay. Brayden. I love Brayden from On Dublin Street. I will talk about Brayden all day long. Barons. Jericho Barons from the Fever series. And I know I talked about Brayden and Barons in my last video. He is controlling. He is possessive, but he's smart. Everything that he does, he has a reason. There is a reason why he is possessive. His hands, and he wants to have his hands in everything. And I completely understand that. He knows everything. He knows exactly what's going on all the time. So it didn't bother me that he was kind of that alpha controlling character. But he's like the ultimate. If you're looking for a great alpha male, yes. And Nicholas from Painted Faces, he's kind of alpha. I mean, I wouldn't call him a beta, but I mean, a lot of people are used to like that ultra alpha, and I guess if that's who you're looking for, Nicholas is not it. But he is alpha. He is very forward, and I love that. But he's respectful. So alpha males, my question to you, if you so choose to answer it, is do you love alpha males? And knowing my weird alpha male tendencies, is there any alpha male books that you think I would like? Or if you don't want to answer that or give me a recommendation, just tell me what your favorite is. No judgment. I just want to know. I know there are some people that can't stand beta males, and that is a topic for another video. But maybe I'll talk about beta males one time. I know I did a post on it, and I'll leave the link to that post in the doobly-doo or my blog post. There is a book that came up in my feed this week that I have already read, but I just really enjoyed it, and I didn't see very many people, in our little book community that have read it. And that book is Come Back to Me by Mila Gray, and it's a military-themed forbidden romance. I really, really liked it. It was really, really good. But it's by Mila Gray. That's actually a pen name. Her real name is Sarah Alderson, and she wrote a YA book that was released earlier this year called Out of Control. And I haven't read that one, but I read this one, and it was a really great romance. It's about this romance between a Marine and his best friend's younger sister, and she's been in love with him since she was little, and she finally basically told him, and they start to see one another. But the thing is, he's only home for a few weeks before he has to go out and go back to, I think it was Iraq. But he's in the special forces, so his job is very dangerous, and but the other wrinkle is that her father and the brother have never really thought that he was good enough, so they have to keep their romance secret, and so it has that forbidden element, and it's just really sweet and heartfelt, and I just felt all of it, and I think that everybody should read it. I did look on Amazon, though, and it's not up anymore. I noticed a few weeks ago when I posted my review, it was up to purchase, and now it's not. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. But, yeah. If you do have it, if you did purchase it and you haven't read it, you should read it. If not, definitely add it on Goodreads, and I'll leave the link to the book in the down bar. Down bar? In the doobly-doo. If you don't follow Hannah, follow her too. She's awesome. She is a booktuber, and she does awesome book reviews, poetry favorites. She'll talk about films. She'll do tags. But she's also really nice, and she has a great personality, and I love you, Hannah. So you should follow her on YouTube. She has a Facebook page and all that good stuff, and she's on Tumblr, and her Tumblr is something that you will get lost in and spend, you know, innumerable amounts of your time in. I have. So I'll leave the link to Hannah's stuff too. You should follow her. Funny story with Hannah. I've followed Hannah for a little while. I don't even know how long, but I watched her videos, and I went to the New Orleans author event, and she was there, and I totally attacked her, and I'm still kind of embarrassed by this. But she handled it in good, and Corey was there too, so hi Corey. I don't know if you remember the crazy woman who, like, came up to Hannah and was like, oh my gosh, it's Hannah! But I've since talked to Hannah, and she's totally fine with my, like, my bombarding, stalkerish ways. So, how do I love thee, Hannah? Let me count the ways. Follow Hannah. Yeah. Okay. The last thing I wanted to do is something kind of fun, and my friend Narita recently did this TBR tag, so the to be read tag. I thought it would be fun if I did that in today's video. So I'd love to know what your answers are. Leave me the link to your answers if you post them on a blog or if you post them on Facebook, or if you just want to answer the questions in the comments. You can do that too. But I'd really be curious to see what you think. And I haven't really thought of my answers, so it's going to be completely on the fly here. Oh, also, Narita has lots of great posts. You should follow her too. Okay, the first question is, how do you keep track of your TBR? I keep track of my TBR through Goodreads. I have lots of shelves. I try to organize my shelves by, obviously there's the default, like read, to be read. And I also have a shelf called Waiting for It to Come Out, which is like not books that haven't been released. And I categorize books by month and date, or month and year that they're released, just so I know. How do you organize your Goodreads shelves? That's another thing I want to know. Do you ever go on other people's shelves and like stalk their shelves? I used to do that whenever I first started blogging a couple of years ago, or not blogging, but like looking at blogs and reading blogs. I used to stalk other people's shelves, and I really want to go in and add categories and kind of better organize my shelves, so that if someone wanted to look at my shelves, they might be like, oh, I'm looking for a like YA romance or something, and there would be a shelf for that. So yeah. Anyway, the question, how do you keep track of your TBR? I use Goodreads. I also use Caliber, which is a software, a free software. It's for Windows and Mac, and you can sync it to Goodreads, so you can add books through the software right onto Goodreads. But I like it more than Goodreads because I can organize it by author. So if I want to isolate the results to only show all of these books by this author, then I can. You can also organize it by tags, like if you have categories, by series and things like that. And it's a completely free program. You can also download all of your books that you get off of Amazon, that you buy on Amazon, and put them in Caliber, so that if something ever happens to Amazon, I'm not saying that there would be, but like if something ever happens where you lose your books, something crazy or something, then you would have a backup. So yeah, Dear Author actually has a whole tutorial on how to use Caliber and Goodreads and all of that, and how to organize your to-read list through Caliber, and I will leave a link to her post. I found it really helpful. She actually has a lot of tech-related tutorials and things like that, so I will leave the link to her post below. That was a really long answer for question 1. Is your TBR mostly print or ebook? I would say definitely ebook. While, I mean, I do have a lot of print books. I now have all of these and another shelf, and like another shelf that's almost full of books. Most of these I bought in anticipation to going to signings. When I went to RT last year, I got a lot of free books, which I'm hoping to go to RT next year. And you get a lot of really great books there. But yeah, I have more ebooks. It's much easier to one click and have that instant delivery to your Kindle, and so yeah, it's a little bit dangerous. How do you determine which book from your TBR to read next? I have been trying to read books that I got for review, just because I want to make sure that I do read those that I get from publishers. So I've been trying to go through that, but so what I'll do is I'll look at all the books that I have for review, and then I'll determine which one I'm in the mood to read. So it's kind of like a combo of review and what I'm in the mood for. Right now I'm actually, like I talked about last week, I'm reading some YA because I'm kind of in the mood for something different. I haven't read YA in a while, so I'm a little bit of a mood reader. So yeah. A book that's been on your TBR the longest. That would be The Hunger Games. Actually, it says that Mockingjay has been on there the longest, but I don't know why that's showing up as me adding that one first. But The Hunger Games. Yeah, I have not read The Hunger Games yet, and I haven't seen the movie because I haven't read the books, and I refuse to watch the movie unless I've read the books. So I haven't seen The Hunger Games. I won't be watching Gone Girl because I haven't read the book. I also haven't seen or read Divergent. So yeah, I know that everybody probably wants to slap me right now, but no. I do want to read The Hunger Games. I just haven't. I have them in ebook and in print. Just haven't read them yet. The next question is... Oh, and Nareda, her answer was One Foot in the Grave by Janine Frost. Nareda, you need to read that book. It's so good. Bones is so awesome, and I think you would really like him. Just don't listen to it on audio. Nareda does not like accents. So don't listen to it on audio, and you should be good. Because the girl that does the narration for the audiobook does Bones' British accent, because he has an accent. If you don't mind accents, the audiobooks for that series, great. They're fantastic, and she's funny. And actually, my friend Brenna, I'm totally outing you, Brenna. Brenna backed into her trash can listening to Bones. And Bones and Cat. And I'll leave it at that. Brenna, that story will always stay with me. Oh, Brenna. Okay. The next question. A book that you recently added to your TBR. Ooh, okay. I'm excited about this one because I actually know what book this is. A Million Miles Away by Laura Avery. And I'll read the blurb to you because it looks really good. It's published by Poppy, which is an imprint of Hachette. I was schooled in how to pronounce that publisher. It's Hachette. So, there you go. Anyway, it's called A Million Miles Away. I love the cover. It looks really good. I can't wait to read it. But let me read you the blurb. Whew, I'm so excited about it. Okay. When high school senior Kelsey's identical twin Michelle dies in a car crash, Kelsey is left without her other half. The only person who doesn't know about the tragedy is Michelle's boyfriend Peter, recently deployed to Afghanistan. But when Kelsey finally connects with Peter online, she can't bear to tell him the truth. Active duty has taken its toll, and Peter, thinking that Kelsey is Michelle, says that seeing her is one thing keeping him alive. Caught up in the moment, Kelsey has no choice. She lets Peter believe that she is her sister. As Kelsey keeps up the act, she crosses the line from pretend to real. Soon, Kelsey can't deny what she's falling. Soon, if I could only read, that would make this so much better. Wow. Soon, Kelsey can't deny that she's falling hard for the one boy she shouldn't want. Doesn't that sound good? Everybody add that. You need to read it. It comes out next July. Doesn't that? Oh, I can't wait for it. So yeah. That's another book. The other couple books under it that I read, Dream Cuts by Renee Carlino. It's a book that's going to be coming out next year. Also, The Hooker and the Hermit by L.H. Cosway and Penny Reed. Really excited for that one. I love L.H. Cosway. I haven't read any books by Penny Reed. But everyone who has read Penny Reed's Knitting in the City series, raves about it. So I'm excited for that collaboration. Add those books. A book on your TBR that you never plan on actually reading. Oh, that's kind of mean. I'm probably going to have to go with This Man by Jodi Eileen Malpas. And if I'm pronouncing her name wrong, I'm sorry. Probably just because of the subject matter. I think I added this book a while ago whenever the subject matter was like at the height of its popularity, and I really wanted more books like it. But it has a billionaire, and he's rich and controlling, and I think that as of right now, I am kind of done with that storyline for the most part. I'm going to keep it on my TBR because I know a lot of people that have read it and that loved it. But I'm just putting it on the back burner. I don't think I would enjoy it right now. So, yeah, that's probably that book. Have you read that book? Let me know what you think. I'd be curious. An unpublished book on your TBR that you're excited for. Okay, obviously the book that I just talked about, A Million Miles Away. But also really excited about When Joss Met Matt by Ellie Cahill. I think it comes out in February. It looks really good. Looks really good. Okay. Also, Last Year's Mistake by Gina Ciosa? I don't know how to say her last name. I'm sorry, but by Gina C. Someone just messaged me. Narita, everybody in Tucson, Narita is having a yard sale. You should go and to buy things from her house. You're welcome, Narita. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Oh, okay, I'm excited for The Friend Zone by Kristen Callahan. I read the hookup and I loved it. Thought it was so good. Yeah, so that one. I'm also looking. Oh, obviously, Reignite by J.M. Darhauer comes out on the 13th. If you haven't read it, perfect time. You should get Extinguished and read it. They're novellas. You should read that. Marrow by Taryn Fisher. So excited. The blurb was just released this week. Link to that below. Yeah. I will read anything she writes. Excited about that one. Oh, also, Even When You Lie to Me by Jessica Alcott. That book comes out next June. It is a teacher-student romance. Also, big news if you're a Susan E. fan, Angel Fall series. The conclusion of Penryn's story comes out on May 12th, and the book is called End of Days. So I'm excited for that. I need to reread Angel Fall and World After because I blew through those books and I didn't write reviews. I don't even think I marked them as read yet. So yeah, Angel Fall. Okay, next question. I've talked about way too many books. A book on your TBR that everyone recommends to you. That is probably the Bronze Horseman series. Everybody who has read that series wants me to read it or just always recommends it. So yeah, I will read it. I want to. The number of books on your Goodreads TBR shelf. 649. Yeah. Out of control. That's the end of the tag. Now I'm going to tag Allie and Debbie from Black Heart Reviews, Christine and Denise from SHH Mom's Reading. I tag Kelly from Bella the Literati, Kate and Beth from The Reading Vixens, and I tag Kayla from My Book Muse, and also Lucia from Reading Is My Breathing. I want you guys to do the tag, and let me know when you do it, because I want to see it. Okay. I think that's all I have to talk about this week. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, and if you want to see more of these videos, then you can subscribe so they come right to your YouTube feed. I'll leave the link to all of my social media places in the doobly-doo, and on my blog, you can find the link to all of my social media pages on the sidebar. Yeah, please let me know what you think of this video, and I will see you guys next week. I have so much fun doing these videos, so I will keep doing them. I hope you have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon.